Welcome back to another Brew Spy the Magic Guy. I'm your host, Sean, and today we're going to get right to it. The clock has started. We have 50 minutes. Let's complete our mission. So, in 50 minutes' time, we have to brew a new deck. It could be for Vintage, it could be for Modern, it could be for Legacy, it could even be for Pauper. Just please, let's not make a standard deck. That's too easy. Alright, so we need to pick a card. Let's start with Ravnica Allegiance. So, Vannifar, I've seen a lot of people doing. This is some sort of, like a pod, birthing pod kind of deck. Dovin and Kaya don't really speak to me, although I think, anytime you're looking at a 3-mana Planeswalker, there's definitely things to think about. Lavina, that makes me think Legacy, maybe even Vintage. Although I was reading some articles, people were saying that you might as well, if you're going to play Lavina, why not just play Meddling Mage, and that's fair. We already brewed a Judith deck. Why not just play Multicolored Pyromancer? Which Pyromancer? I'm kind of just going down the list. We have 50 minutes, so we need to use it wisely. Could do something Absorb. Absorb makes me think like a blue-white X control, even like an Esper control could be viable in something like Modern now. Just because that was always a big reason to play Jeskai as the Helixes. I thought about doing something fun with Simic Ascendancy and like putting it in the green. Here, what about Hero of Precinct? What, just... Oh, that's the one where... okay. Why don't you build 8 Snake? Yeah, there you go. Frilled Mystic. That's a cool idea, pay the toll. Alright. I think that this is a powerful, although it costs mana, this is a powerful aristocrat. So she's the pay 1, sacrifice another creature, pitiless Pontiff, gains Death Touch and Indestructible until end of turn. That's a cool effect. I still don't think that's where we want to be. High Alert's cool, because Blue-White has some really powerful defenders. Each creature you control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than power. That's a fun build-around card. See, now I really like this card. I saw this the other day and I was thinking I wanted to build around it. As an additional cost to cast this spell, pay 5 life or sacrifice a creature or enchantment. Destroy target creature. The only problem with this is you do have to have a target, but I think Final Payment's kind of cool. A way to like blow up enchantments that want to be blown up. There is one in Modern that would be Hatching Plans. For those of you that don't know Hatching Plans, I'll just pull it up. So this is when it's put into a graveyard, draw 3 for 2 mana. So Hatching Plans plus Final Payment would be 4 mana total, kill a creature, draw 3 cards. So would we play something in Modern that was white, black, colorless blue, draw 3 cards, kill a creature? That's the real question. Would I actually cast that spell? Granted, it's broken up into 2 pieces, right? Think of it almost like a flashback. Like, the first side of the spell would be kill a creature, the back side of the spell would be draw 3 cards. Kind of. Except we cast them in the reverse order, but we get the effects in the reverse order. We've already killed 4 minutes, so let's keep moving, guys. I don't think that's our build-around card yet. But it is something to think about. But yeah, so Multicolored Pyromancer is a cool idea, Flux. Let me skip down to the card he was talking about, and then we can go back to where we were. That would be Hero Precinct 1. Whenever you cast a multicolored spell, make a dude. That's cool. We're not limited to just, spells. Like with Young Pyromancer, it's spells only. With this, it's just, we would want the rest of the deck to be powerful multicolored spells. Which, there are plenty in Modern, and the mana is certainly, we could go greedy with that. We'd be dead to Blood Moon, but, what deck that we've brewed lately hasn't been. Light at the Stage is something that Douglas was brewing with. It has Spectacle for exile the top 2 of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play those cards. And it's until the end of your next turn. So you have some time to play them. It is powerful. He was doing some cool stuff with this card. But anyway, I digress. Let's go back to where we were. So we were about here. I mean, I am familiar with the spoiler, but that doesn't mean I know what I mean, like, I went into this blind, so I mean, of course I'm familiar with the cards that came out, but I didn't want to spoil the fun of, like, us sitting down and hashing it out and talking about what cards you could play. I mean, certainly light at the stage, figuring out a deck that could use that would be powerful. I mean, I already brewed, what was it? Let's go back to the top, sorry for this fast scrolling, but I mean, we've already brewed around quite a few cards from the new set. We brewed around Judith. I also have a brew that's going to be using Prime Speaker. It's on my Stream Decker. It's like a different take on elves, but because she is an elf. Let's see. I think we were down here. Let's look at these guys again. It's always interesting to think about these guys. I was looking at Revival and trying to figure out if there was like a busted creature that was CMC 3 or less to Revival, but I don't think there is. And we would just be playing the card just for the Revival side. I mean, I don't think Revival's a bad effect. Like, you're paying 2 mana to get 3 mana worth of card. Like, anytime you're doing that in Modern, you need to definitely think about it. Yeah, so if we're, you know, kind of like how Collect a Company's powerful because you could potentially hit a 3 and a 2 or a 3 and a 3, and then you're gaining on mana advantage in that case. So, in theory, Revival is gaining you. Why not just Electro Dominance? We've already brewed several Electro Dominance decks, but I like the way you're thinking, Thunder and Bumpkin. That's not me saying I wouldn't. Today I wanted to pick the card, but I wanted to leave it up to some of my subs in the future to pick the card. Was kind of the thought. Maybe we'll do like a raffle or some sort for the. Okay, I want to build around this card potentially. Maybe not today, but Awaken the Erstwhile. Each player discards all cards in their hand. Already I'm in, right? All in deck. Then create that many zombie tokens. So put this in a deck filled with like Lingering Souls and Grave Crawlers, and then all of a sudden it's not such a big, and just like fast mana, and then all of a sudden it's not a big deal that we just dumped both. We just won for nothing, both our opponent and us, and because we'd have like Grave Crawlers and even just some Lingering Souls tokens, we should win that game. No, I knew you meant Electro Dominance, but I mean this. We've already brewed several Electro Dominance decks. I don't know where you were, Thundering Bumpkin. I brewed like 3 of them so far. So that's not exactly what I wanted to do today. I didn't want to do a deck we already did this past week. But yes, there is all sorts of busted in half things you can do with this. Restore Balance, Living End, Ancestrals, Wheels. Of course, in Waste Not Storm, you would want Wheel. Yeah, like, Awaken with some way for us to be stronger than the opponent, or to just take out all of their tokens. Like, a way to remove their tokens would be kind of neat. We could even play something janky like the Leyline that makes tokens, like all things, legendary. But let's see if there's anything else interesting here in this section. Relation Shaman's interesting. Guardian Project. Huh. Interesting. Wait a minute. Alright, hold up. I'm getting something here. I know we've killed the first 10 minutes of the clock, but hold on a second. So, this card we pulled up earlier because we were thinking about final payment, like as something to pay for the final payment. But hold up. Call me crazy. What about this card? Oh, what about this card? Rampage of the Clans. I was looking at this the other day, but I didn't think about a useful way to use it. What if we built a deck that was kind of like Eggs-like, that basically we played a bunch of artifacts and or enchantments that want to die, and then we get an army of green 3/3 centaur tokens during their end step, and we like draw a bunch of cards or like a bunch of things happen. I mean, I kind of want to settle in on a card, so this might be what we try. Thesaurus. Okay, so they're giving us some other cards, of course, that do kind of what this does. Beast Within. Oh, Cleansing Nova. That's one more mana, obviously, and it'd be a white deck, but that gives us the option to either kill all creatures or we could blow up all artifacts and enchantments. I have no idea what the deck would look like, but I bet it would have hatching plans. Alright, so let's get to brewing, because we don't have much time left. We've already killed quite a bit of time. But yeah, next time maybe I'll let you guys pick the build-around card. I think we're going to build around that new card from Allegiance. We're going to build around the instant speed, blow up a bunch of things, make a bunch of dudes. Seems good to me. And it'll be funny if we go up against like Boggles or an artifact-heavy deck, right? Just like blow up all their stuff and they have a bunch of 3/3s. What was the name of the card? Rampage. You guys aren't excited about this card? I think this is going to be a hilarious brew. I mean, we do this all the time, but like putting myself on a clock, I think definitely will. This was a suggestion from some viewers the other day. They said if I put myself on a clock and hatching plans. Any others that are just like really, really powerful if they get blown up? Anyone? Bueller? So hatching plans. What's like another card that's really... So it looks like we're Bant, maybe. So like Noble Hierarch. I don't know how much Noble Hierarchy is right now. We might not have enough money for all that. Oh. It might be a... Ooh, that's pretty looking. Yeah, it might not be... we may not be able to do... We may not be able to play with these nobles, by the way, just for money's sake. But I think we're white because I think we want the other cards that was in the Thesaurus, right? Fracturing Gust, and maybe some number of Cleansing Novas. Like, so this one would give us, instead of the tokens, we gain a bunch of life. So maybe not a play set, but like 2 or 3, just to have more enablers in the deck. And then Cleansing Nova might want to be... It might, like, we might want to do like a 3 of, and a 2 of, and a 4 of to start. And these are instant speed, which is nice. Even though this is sorcery, like this giving us some sweepers is nice. I mean, we could play paths and stuff. All right, so final payment. Now, that would, the problem with payment would be we're going into 4 colors. We don't have to play more than 1 card from the new set, so we have our card. Like, there is that one, there's, I'll put it in the sideboard just to think about it, but that's going into another color, which I don't really want to do. I think dipping into blue for hatching plans is nice, but maybe unnecessary. We almost get as many cards off of that one artifact. What's it called? Alright, time to hit the Gatherer. I think it's Ichor Wellspring. Yeah, I'm almost positive. So, Ichor Wellspring. Like, we could kind of go full-blown Krark Clan Ironworks. Which is funny because that just got banned, right? Wellspring. Other cards that want to get blown up. Come on, guys. Give me some thoughts. What are some other cards that want to get blown up? Like, also the Mycosynth Wellspring, maybe. Star. Not the other Star. Like, this is the one that says when it goes into the graveyard, draw a card. So we would want Chromatic Stars, potentially. So now we got some more 1-drops. Like, what else wants to get blown up? Summoner's Egg. We want these things to be relatively cheap, mana-wise. Unless it's, like, really powerful. That's cute. I'll put it in the think pile. Anything that's in the sideboard is not necessarily... Well, we'll make 2 piles in the sideboard, so we'll make a I'm thinking about it pile and an actual potential sideboard. We only got 35 minutes, guys, and this has to Basically, if we lose a game, we drop the deck, and then we'll do something else, and then we'll wait for another speed Brew-Around session another time. Hatching Plans, Star, maybe some Wellsprings. I'm not sure about the Mycosynth. I know we need to make a lot of land drops, though, but... Actually, you know what we should be playing instead of Noble Hierarch, potentially? Maybe we should be playing, like, what is it? Make ourselves a little bit less weak to removal. Or one-for-one removal. Like, what about the... Oh, yeah, Terrarian. Good call. Yes. Yes. Terrarian. Absolutely. It's another one-drop that wants to get blown up. Good call. We could even play like Moxen if we get artifacty enough, Mox Opal. Because the problem with Noble Hierarch is the Noble Hierarch doesn't upgrade into Sylvan Caryatid. Not Caryatid necessarily. I'm thinking, what is it? This will be a 0. Let's put it there. 2s. We don't have any 3s yet. What is it called? Come on, guys. We got 30 minutes. I need help here. We got 34 minutes on the clock. Come on, guys. Oh, sorry. My mic's over there. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Okay. So we need something like, what is it, like Forest Enchantment? Like, we want to ramp a little bit. We could even play like Leyline of Sanctity kind of stuff. I don't mind Leyline. There we go, Utopia Sprawl, and there's the one with the watermark. Awesome. Yeah. Thanks, guys. All right, so Utopia Sprawl. So that'll give us another 3/3 or 2 life, depending. So we are going to have a couple enchantments or artifacts that like don't want to get blown up, but they have synergy with Rampage, our Build-Around card. Like, obviously, this and this getting blown up is technically making us lose mana sources, but, you know. Or we could do it differently. We could do it like this. We could do the charge counter one. Like, our ramp could be, instead of Moxen and Sprawls and then we're sad when they're blown up, we could just do, what is it called? Ad Nauseam uses it. And then the thing that's left over usually doesn't do anything for you, but now it would become it would either be like 2 life or it could be, what about Disciple of the Vault? Well, I'm kind of trying to play around 1-for-1 creature removal, not Sphere of the Sun. What is it called? Can't think of the card off the top of my head. What is it called? Like, I know what the card, like, I know what the picture is, I just can't think of what it's spelled. There we go, Pentad Prism. No, like, I think Pentad's where we want to be, because that ramps us for 2, and it's okay getting blown up. If we have enough artifacts, we may still consider Mox Opal. I just don't have a huge budget right now on Moto. Yeah, Sunburst, there you go. So, like, Pentad Prism, usually it doesn't do anything when it's left over, but this would enable it to do something. Even though if we're not going into black necessarily, I either see us going Abzan or I see us going blue for Hatching Plans. I think Hatching Plans is where we want to be. Alright, when put into graveyard. We need to start doing some gatherer searches because I think we're out of ideas now. When put into graveyard, modern, CMC, I think we're not in red. I think we're in those colors, and then let's do enchantments first. There's an artifact that made 1/1s. Oh yeah. We tried that in a couple different. We did like a Salvage Titan deck with that. I mean, if we were more artifact heavy, I would be playing Salvage Titan in this thing, which we might actually do just to have another way to pop the. Because arguably, Cleansing Nova and Fracturing Gust aren't really all that great because they're not actually producing a threat. Use Scryfall instead, says ProPeeves. In the future, perhaps. Servo Schematic, good call. Come on, guys, we got 30 minutes on the clock. We got to get this brew finished. I'm going to play it even if it's bad. Like, even if we... So we need to get a sideboard together in half an hour. During renewal. This card's such an interesting card. So we need other, okay, that's it. Yeah, that's a problem. Okay, let's go for artifacts now. So text, put into graveyard. Let's ignore red. Modern. Artifact this time. CMC, because we want to keep it to... Arguably, we want to keep it to 3. Like, I didn't even look at the stuff higher. That's it? That can't be right. Put into graveyard. I'm using the Pro Peeves link. Oh, that is hot. Oh, implements. Yeah, the implements. Which one will you do, though? Implement of improvement? Implement of examination? I mean, that's a lot of mana. Probably implement of malice, or not malice, improvement. Yeah, there's some cool stuff here you found. Scrap trawler, well, no. Well, would we get a bunch of triggers on that? Terrarium makes sense. Okay, so yeah, it looks like we want to play maybe an implement. I mean, this makes me think it's a Salvage Titan deck all over again. Just because we need like a Greater Greater Gargadon doesn't work with Hatching Plans, and neither does Salvage Titan. Now, here's something to think about. If we don't go into Final Payment once enchantments, I think the draw 3 for 2 mana and some other shenanigans is worth. We have enough artifacts that we could be a Mox Opal deck. I mean, are there just not enough powerful enchantments that want to get blown up in Modern? I don't know how to set up the Scryfall. Scryfall. Sorry, Fred. I'm going to use this as a crutch for this time, but maybe Pro Peeves we can... What about the sorcery that sacrifices a permanent to draw some cards? Well, I think we need to look up sacrifice permanent as well. And let's not even bother with colors. Let's just go modern and let's go... Like, I mean, there's that one artifact. What about Perilous Research? Yeah, there you go. Sacrifice permanent. I just want to look at the convert mana cost. I just want to see what's out there. No, thank you for that, though, Pro Peeves. You saved me a lot of time. All right, there's Claws of Gix. Let's bring Salvage Titan over here, though. Claws of Gix. The thing about Salvage Titan is it wouldn't work with enchantments, but we've only found one enchantment so far, but I don't think we're doing a good job building around the Rampage because this wants to blow up both artifacts and enchantments. Crack the Earth. That would mean we're going into red, but Crack the Earth is sweet. Like, they lose a permanent, but we want them to do so. I mean, there's Greater Gargadon to think about if we go into red and we don't go into... What about just Smallpox? I don't think that's what we want it to do. Hidden Stockpile. This makes artifacts. And it itself is an enchantment, so that's a cool card. Maybe not in our colors, though. The Perilous Research was a great idea. Can't spell. Perilous Research. What about some Enter the Battlefields? More Starburst? What about limited use artifacts? Yeah, I mean, something like that might make sense. Like, yeah, like Perilous Mirror as well. So, Perilous Research. Perilous Mirror. Makes sense to me. Granted, it's an overcosted shock effect, but it would turn on the Mox Opal. I mean, we're hoping to play a bunch of cheap enchantments and artifacts, and then we rampage. So here's something else to think about, chat. Are the Cleansing Novas and Fracturing Gusts just not good enough? And should we actually just be on the artifact plan, and should we just be playing the absolute best? I like how resilient the Salvage Titan is. Like, maybe we should be doing something like this. Salvage Titan also doesn't require colors. I mean, I think we should just be building around Rampage because this ends the game and it's instant, whereas, like, Cleansing Nova and Fracturing Gust don't actually end the game. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, Hatching Plans is strong. Like, I'm still tempted to play it. It's just we don't have a way to pop it easily other than Rampage that we're happy to play. Unless we want to go deep and play, like, Claws of Gix, you know. Which we could. We could play Claws. Claws would give me the ability to pop the Hatching Plans. And it would also be a Centaur at the end. And Research gets us the combo too, though. I mean, there's not too many blue-green decks. We got 20 minutes, guys. Honestly, I like Research. If you go to Mir, you get Crack and Garg. So Tamir might be better. I mean, Tamir could still play Salvage Titan. So you're thinking Tamir? Do we even have that many card slots? Like, we're already at 44 cards. I mean, we don't need to play Perilous Mirror. Could be like a sideboard card. I mean, I don't hate Fracturing Gust and Nova in the 75. I just don't know if it's strong enough to have a bunch of the main board, you know? Gust for the sideboard. I mean, I think Cleansing Nova is very flexible. Right, Gust would give us the ability to gain a bunch of life and pop everything we need to pop. I mean, maybe Cleansing Nova, I guess, is the more main deckable of the two. Ruin some hardened skills. Yeah. Oh, we could ruin, like, a Boggles player's day, too, with the Cleansing Nova. Gus definitely seems sideboard, not main. Yeah. Rampage. These are all 2-drops. You have a ton of 2-drops. This is a 0. So we have some zeros. Let's just bring this over. So we got some... No 3-drops, but that's fine. So Moxen. So, like, if we can run enough artifacts to turn on the Mox, that would be nice. We don't have all that much time, guys. We also need to add lands to this thing. Maybe we can't run this much Cleansing Nova. Maybe we should just have like a fun of. So yeah, we need to make some decisions. So Gargadon is stronger, but of course weaker to removal. Not sure about the Garg and the Salvage Titan. I mean, I like the idea of Crack the Earth. I almost feel like I still prefer the Salvage Titan. Like, we've used Gargadon before. Salvage Titan also means we don't have to go into another color. Like, if we really want white, which I kind of do, I think the Cleansing Nova is actually really solid. It's an enabler for our combo. White also gives me access to path. Like, blue gives us negates or other various types of counter magic, and then the white gives us everything from path. so white gives us path. Blue gives us negate. You guys are running out of ideas too, aren't you? Rampage of the Clans. Rampage of the Clans. What if we ran some stuff that made the Centaur tokens themselves better? What if we did like a weird, I don't know, creature token search? Like creature tokens you control. I have no idea. I mean, do they need to be better than just a whole army of 3/3s? I mean, I think that's the real question. And again, if we skip out on the Cleansing Nova, right, then we do get to go into red. And I mean, like, Gargadon's not even the thing I'm most excited about being red. It's definitely Crack the Earth. There's also not that many Tamir decks in the format. I think the first Gargadon's fine. I just don't know if I want a bunch of it. What about Kodaltha Rebirth? We got 18 minutes to make a sideboard and a mana base, guys. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to rely on you guys a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and start constructing a mana base and a sideboard. While I'm doing that, I need you guys to figure out the last few cards. But I think this is where we're at. So thanks for the help, guys. I'll do my best. Guess we get, like, rest in pieces. The only anti-synergy I see is the... Oh, no, wait. That would ruin everything. Never mind. I don't know what the sideboard's going to look like. Night of Autumn? Or we're not in those colors anymore. Oh, yeah, we're not going to play white. I was excited because we were maybe going to play Fiery Justice. But I think we're in the right colors. I think that Crack the Earth is correct for a Hatching Plans deck. I mean, there's also Beast Within, you know? We can always just beast the plans, and we get a 3/3, and we also get... I think the first Beast Within is a good idea. What holes are we looking to fill? More ways to pop the Hatching Plans that are also flexible. I think Beast Within is definitely a good call in our colors. Okay, so I don't want to die to what? We're kind of weak to burn in this color combination. We'll have to rely on the green to kind of help us there. I mean, Scavenging Ooze, maybe? I don't know. $16 minutes, guys. More negate. What else? I think the Fracturing Gust idea is fine. That's just a lot of green, though. That's actually going to be difficult to cast. Let's not worry about it. What about Filigree Fracture? Kodaltha Rebirth was suggested by Pro Peeves. Oh, that's a cool idea. Yeah, blow up the Hatching Plans and draw 4 cards. That's certainly powerful. It's a cool idea. Definitely goes in the cool ideas pile at least. What about Nature's Claim? Oh yeah, we could use this kind of Tron style. Good call. Just go with the playset until, like, if we're just filling slots. Let's see. So, let's see, Tamir. Yeah, I like the Nature's Claim a lot. I mean, Rebirth is interesting. An interesting idea. We've got a bunch of... none of these are double color-wise, so we could play Darksteel Citadel. What about Thrashing Brontodon? Oh yeah, Brontodon's solid. It's got a big booty, doesn't die to bolt. Yeah. Good call. You're right. Beast Within, sideboard. It's like, why are we in red if we're not going to, like, be running Pyroclasm? I don't know if we could play Anger, but Pyroclasm? I'm just trying to figure out why we're in red, you know? I blue for hatching and research and negate. We need a lot more lands, though. So like Misty, Rainforest makes sense to me since we're mostly blue-green. Just a pinch of red, but the red seems to be important. If we were in black, we could be playing Braska. Dude, if we were in black, I'd be playing like Glissa or some cool stuff like that. Let's keep this going, guys. It's not finished still. So, Breeding Pool. Let's just go with one of each shock just to make sure that the mana flows nicely. We could even do double Breeding Pool, maybe. Stomping Ground. How combo focused are we, honestly? It's an interesting thought. We could run... oh, Cathartic. I wish we could just tutor for Rampage of the Clans, right? And hey, this is our first time attempting this, so... I never said that it was going to be... I guess just for ease of access, let's just go ahead and toss in a couple of the other basics. I may or may not use them. We still need to flesh out the sideboard, guys. What do we want? Like Spellskite? Like what's gonna beat us? Like maybe we need to make sure that it resolves. Maybe Dispel is where we need to be instead of a bunch of negates. Maybe a mix of Dispel and negate. We want to make sure that this resolves. We could play some bolts. I mean, there's a lot of different things we could play. Kind of like 17 lands, if we can get a 17th land in there. We got 10 minutes, guys. Play some shushers. Actually, the Perilous Research strikes me as a little bit on the weak side just because it's not actually doing anything else other than cracking plans or a schematic or prism, a wellspring or terrarian or what have you. So maybe we just want to try the fun of. Deep Root Champion. Huh. It is interesting. Are there any planeswalkers that are notable in our colors that have anything to do with the heck we're doing? Between Crack the Earth, Greater Gargadon and stuff, like I almost like the idea of Sarkon. Like if we had more old school Sarkon, like if we had more ways to steal stuff, this would be sweet. Just like steal something and then sacrifice it to the Gargadon. That would make me want to lean more on the Gargadon than any Salvage Titans at all, actually. If we were to play some Sarkons in the sideboard. This plus this or this is sweet. What about Search? Search for Iskanta? We are putting a bunch of stuff in the graveyard. It's a clever idea. Let's cut these and turn them into Gargadon. In fact, I'm going to go with more Gargadons. It does find our combo pieces. You are absolutely correct. Search for Iskanta does do it. It's like 2 or 3 Gargadons, maybe a couple of Sarkons because I'm into that. What do we want? Kitchen Finks. This is a wonderful pile, isn't it, guys? What about Chandra? Yeah, Vraska was a cool idea because she actually can allow us to sacrifice our own permanents. Oh, we have a Chandra. Okay. We want to diversify our sweepers. Why don't we go Karn? We have artifacts. Okay, Karn. 7 minutes, guys. Yeah, Karn's a cool idea. Milan Sheen, thank you for hitting that button. Welcome to the Brews by the Magic Guy show. Yeah, Karns seem excellent. So we could just go Rug Planeswalker post board. We could mainboard a Nature's Claim. Or we could mainboard the Beast. No, I'd probably mainboard a Nature's Claim first. I don't know if I want that much Gargadon, even with the Sarkons. I kind of wanted to make their 1-for-1 removal bad. At least, yeah, let's actually just cut the Bronodons. I like the Bronodon idea, but I think I'm still going to cut it. And we could mainboard another Nature's Claim or the Beast Within. I kind of like being a little bit pre-boarded for Burn Game 1, because we're pretty bursty if the deck's doing what we want it to do. Cycling through itself and stuff. That's really one of the only things we're going to lose to is Burn. So having more of these in the main board, between claws and claims. We have 5 minutes. Any other thoughts, guys? Any other ideas? Yeah, Karn was a great idea. That was an excellent thought. 2/2 split on the claim. We got a little bit of permission breaking out of the board, dispels and a negate. couple of power classrooms. Again, I'd like to diversify these sweepers. I mean, we could play... could play like a split of Pyroclasm Kozilek's Return. Unless it's not going to load the art. There we go. We got 4 minutes. So mana base. Like once the timer's up, I don't really want to. I want to make sure we don't change anything. What do I mean by diversity? Just names or effects. Hey, what's up, YOLO Swag, bro? I'd like to have more 1-drops, to be perfectly honest with you guys. So let's look at mana base stuff. We can still put the Moxen over here. First of all, I'm not going to have enough budget to get us this many Moxen. Something to think about. I just don't. Like, how much is a Mox? How much is a Karn? Oh, he's not that bad. What about Mox Opal? Yeah, so I could get us like a couple Moxen. In fact, I might even be able to get us 3 and still get everything else. So I already predict that being a problem. Just because due to what I've got in my card hoarder account right now. Speaking of which, want to give a shout out to card hoarder. Wouldn't be possible. We wouldn't be able to do what we're doing right now without their help. So yeah, I could see us slimming and Moxen. I know it's important, but I don't have enough tickets right now to grab the playset. But we probably can grab 2 or 3. So should that just be 18th land, especially since we just cut a mana source? Yeah, probably. Could be another fetch. Shockland, 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 basic, basic, basic. Sorry, 4 shocks, 3 basics. We could add another fetch land. It's convenient that I had the Misties from another deck we were working on. So maybe 18 land. I mean, 18 land might even be too little, too few. Might still be too few. Does 19 with 3 Mox seem a little bit better? I mean, once the deck gets going, it should draw through itself pretty efficiently, right? We got 2 minutes, guys. Any changes we want to make to the main board or the sideboard? Now, if we cut a Gargadon, that would give us more room for mana or this or that, and then I could see us cutting the Sarkhan down or just cutting it entirely. It is kind of a cute card, for sure. I mean, honestly, those slots, these could just be like Huntmasters instead. Just probably better. I mean, what are we in these colors and not playing Huntmaster for, right? We should probably play like 1 to 2 copies at least of Huntmaster. I mean, I love the idea of Sarkhan, but we have other ways to do that already. Like, or excuse me, we'd have to have a Garg or the Claw, so we can try not to live that dream anymore, I guess. It's probably better to just play, you know, Chandra and Karns. I definitely agree that I think being heavier on Karn makes sense because we're artifact heavy enough to play. We are artifact heavy enough to play Moxen. Last minute, guys. We are, right? We didn't do an artifact count, but we should have. So maybe that's the last thing I do is I add. So we're at 28. I'd like to be at 30 if we're gonna play. That. So I'd like to make that happen. 2 artifacts, go. 30 seconds. 2 artifacts. The mirror. At first I wasn't a huge fan of it, but I think we have enough synergy and I think this is fine. Or we could play an explosives, engineered explosives. Explosives is... Oh, yeah, Explosives blows up the hatching plans. Good call. Good freaking call. Genius. And that's the clock. We did it. All right. What are we going to call it? And while we're figuring out what we're going to call it... yeah, while we're figuring out what we want to call it, I will get the deck ready, and hopefully we have enough money to play that many Moxen. That was awesome. That was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed that speed brewing session, and now we're going to play it as immediately as I get the cards. That was sweet. So let's open a new copy, and then we'll just deduct everything we already have, and that's just to make the deck list, send it over to Card Hoarder, bada bing, bada boom. It's not perfect, but that's part of the challenge. We have 50 minutes, and whatever the deck is at the end of those 50 minutes, barring, you know, having enough money to play the deck. So we already have these. We have that. Have most of the mana base. For some reason, I don't have Darksteel Citadels on here. Got these for some weird reason. I guess I like the card. So yeah, we brewed around Rampage of the Clans, turning it into... oops I win kind of situation. We only need one Gargadon, we have the Dispels, we have the Negate, we have the Pyroclasm, and we need Oozes. Okay. We have the Huntmasters and the Chandra, so this is what we need. Hopefully this is as much as I have. Yeah, he's only about 4 tickets on Moto. Alright, let's see. Export. I'm excited to do this whole speed brew thing because brewing is something that's I'm very passionate about. I enjoy doing, and so this was something that you guys came up with actually. I think it was Puddin or someone like Puddin who's here all the time. But they suggested we put a timer on the brewing, and it'll just make it much more interesting for you guys because sometimes I would go very long or I wouldn't know where I'm going with the deck, and then I look at the clock and then we never play it. So it's only 7 o'clock. I'm going to be going for a much longer from now. And I think this was a really, really good idea. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm sorry if I didn't use your idea in the deck. And you know what? If you want to be the one that chooses the build-around card... Okay, we don't have enough money for it. Shoot. Hang on, add to cart. I'm pretty sure I don't have that much. Loan account, I've got 83. Okay, so let's shave some corners. What's so expensive besides the Moxen? The Oozes. Do we even need the Scavenging Oozes? We could be playing like Surgical or something instead. You could cut a Mox. I think that's wrong. I think it's wrong for us even to only be on 3, by the way. That being said. Hey, let's go back and optimize. Let me hit the optimize button. Okay, it saved us a little bit. Oh, hang on. Clear. Yeah, we just finished doing a build around. We're building around Rampage of the Clans. But yes, I will do Brew-Arounds for... I haven't decided what tier of sub it might be. This is the first time we're doing it, Brian, so I have no idea what it's going to look like. But yes, we're doing speed brew-around sessions is kind of the idea. The spreadsheet didn't really take off. I just don't think that's what I was destined to do. So I think this is much more my style. 50 minutes or less to brew a deck, and then we play it immediately as soon as I get the cards. So I think they don't let me loan. Yeah, they don't let us borrow foil cards. I don't know why. I guess it just optimized that way. So a fourth of that. Let's get a Gargadon that we're allowed to actually borrow. I don't know when they started doing that stipulation, Card Hoarder. There we go. So what are we short now? Oh, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Yeah, we just had to optimize. It's just not going to be pretty. It's just not going to be the exact arts that we wanted on everything, but who cares? We get to actually play the deck with 3 Moxen. That's where we want to be, 3 or more Mox. So let's do it. Yeah, it was an idea from some of the viewers here. I had no idea that it was going to be popular, but I mean, hopefully you guys know that's not the only reason I'm going to do something. But this is something that's been in the works, and I finally just decided, you know what? Let's do it today. You know, why put off today when you can, you know, why do tomorrow what we could just do today, right? So the deck is a thing. And maybe we should have a lot more graveyard hate than just a couple of sideboard scavenging oozes right now, to be perfectly honest. Do we have any surgicals already? We might not. We don't. Relic. I don't know. Let's just stick with the oozes for now. I mean, not everybody's dredge on Moto. There's a lot of Phoenix, though. I mean, another way we could fight Phoenix, we could play like Magma Spray if we really wanted to have something that exiles. I've been seeing people play Magma Spray lately. I had a promo Magma Spray. I could easily get one. It's not a problem. Yeah, I mean, Magma Spray is definitely something that's showing up in modern sideboards again. Just on, maybe just on Moto specifically, just because there's a ton of See, I don't think we're going to be bad against the permissive decks. Why don't we cut a Dispel? I know, I'm breaking the rule a little bit. Like I said, we're not supposed to, but I'm just looking at the sideboard and thinking to myself, we don't have enough. Spot removal options, hardly any, other than like this and the explosives. This is going to be here on the curve. These are here. I know, I'm breaking the rules, but I just don't want us to get stomped because of a simple deck building error. So hang tight, guys. Oh, they're here. Again, hats off to our sponsor. Card Hoarder would be able to do this swift, speedy brewing session. And I know you guys are like, well, BrewSpy, it took you 50 minutes to brew the deck. That's not fast. We brewed this from scratch. This just got brewed from scratch. And I'm not trying to brag, like, you guys helped me do it. This was a team effort. You know, we all did it together. We had a lot of people in the chat working hard, searching up things, throwing out ideas. Some of the ideas made it, some of the ideas didn't. I mean, that means a lot to me. Oh, they're the weird Moxen. $20 donation for a build-around. I have no idea what we would price it, Brian. How about this? Whatever you want to do, I will do. Even if it's less, right? Even if it's more. Because I have no idea what to set the price to. I'd rather you guys just kind of more or less decide on that until I have an idea. And I don't know when I would do it. Would you want me to do it right after this one? This one I know it was selfish. I did my own to start, but I just wanted to see if it would work. I think this worked great. Can we get a consensus here? I know there's only about 10 or 12 of us here, but consensus, did you guys like that? Was that not fast enough? Does it need to be more like 45 minutes? Does it need to be more like a half hour? I think we used the whole 50 minutes. Just putting that out there. I think that the deck would be relatively worse if we didn't have a full... I mean, that's the length of one game of Magic Online. When you think about it, that's the full clock for a game of Magic Online. Pro Peeves says, yes, I hope I didn't over-contribute. No, you were fine, Pro Peeves. I needed you. I need another person, like, bounce off ideas with. Like, when I would brew decks in paper, like, I'd usually have a friend to, if they're not there with me immediately while I'm brewing a deck, I'll build the deck, and then I'm like, hey, what do you think about this? And then I build the deck again. I'm like, well, what do you think about these changes? And then I build the deck again, and I don't care which way you do it. Oh, thanks, Woo Bangs. It's good to see you, man. What's up? How has the worlds of the Warcrafts been, my friend? This has Karn in it. I love it. I almost thought about playing. What is that card? I mean, it's too late now. Maybe instead of Chandra, we should be playing some number of the blue enchantment. What is the name of that card? I know. We're still brewing. Technically, I should stop. I think we should just be happy with it. I'm worried about the Chandra because she's red. That's really my only concern. Because like I mean, look at our mana base, the citadels and stuff. I think this was maybe the same reason we're not running Anger of the Gods is probably the same reason we probably shouldn't run Chandra. I think Karn is great. What is the name of that enchantment? And we don't have to protect it either. Oh, what is it? It's not March of the Machines I'm thinking of. Antiquities War. Like I think our sideboard should be a lot different actually. Now that I'm really thinking about it, like I think it should be like some combination of Antiquities War. Chandra's too hard to cast. I think the Beast needs to go. Oh. We're also not using one of the most powerful sideboard cards available to this kind of artifact-heavy deck, which is Gearper, Aether Grid. I know. I'm changing the deck a little. I shouldn't do that once we're already like past the timer, but I'll get used to the 50-minute time limit. I think the sideboard would really benefit from Aether Grid. So we certainly have enough artifacts to tap it. Not as much as like Lantern Control, etc. But I think Gear per Aether Grid is definitely a powerful sideboard option for this. So maybe Antiquities War, maybe Magma Spray. Like if we had a little bit more time and we'd been a little bit smarter, I think those are the things that we would have done instead. I like this part of the sideboard. We screwed up a little bit, didn't we? I think it's Magma Spray. I mean, maybe the Antiquities War is overkill and it takes some time. Maybe Karn is better. Let's cut that. Definitely Gearper over Chandra just because it's easier to cast, and we have. Maybe this is a better 15, so let's grab these. But yeah, my bad, guys. I don't want us to spend 50 minutes and then get stomped just because we had a couple of really wrong cards in the sideboard. We didn't take as much time with the sideboard as we should have, I think is my conclusion. So let's get that spray, let's get the Aether Grid, and let's get playing. What's this now? Build a deck in under an hour? Yeah, so I had to build the deck with your guys' help in less than an hour. It's been a lot of printings of Magma Spray. Gear per Aether Grid. They don't have any. Of course they don't. Aether Grid. Maybe I spelled gear per wrong. Oh, they do have it. Cool. Alright, awesome. Alright, grabbed them. Yeah, so Wu Bang. So the rough draft of the challenge was I wanted it to be the full clock of a Moto game or less. I mean, granted, we could have also finished the deck before the 50-minute mark. In the future, as I get used to this, it'll be easier for me to adhere to that timer. And all right, cool. Let's jam. You guys excited about? I'm legitimately excited about this. Like us having like a new thing, I almost want to call it format, right? Like we've made a game within a game, right? The only stipulations I had is I wanted to brew it for not standard because a lot of these cards have already been explored there. So a non-standard deck using a Build-Around card from Ravnica Allegiance. So there you go. There you have it, Rampage of the Clans. Let's put this in the Stream Decker as Rampage of the Clans. You took too long. Reject! Hype is real. Hey, what's up, Brandio? Yeah, so we did a speed brewing session. This will be interesting. This will be really interesting. I have no idea if we're gonna win any games, but this deck's kind of cool enough that I may not stick to the stipulation of if we win, we keep going. If we lose, we stop. I might actually play a few more games than just that, because this is actually kind of cool looking. Would you guys be okay with that? How far back can we go? In Modern? Oh yeah, all the way to 8th edition, my friend. But we also could have built a Legacy or a Vintage deck. There were a couple cards in the new set that made me think Legacy, at least. Maybe not Vintage, but made me think Reject. Made me think Legacy. Are they going to keep trying to trade us forever and ever? It'd be annoying. Would be annoying. I mean, and like, look, like, because of you guys, like, we ended up with something really cool that we should be proud of. We built this together. We should be proud of it. This monster, this mess. Let's play. I picked up some tickets, so we could do some 1v1s. Heck, we could even put this in a league. You guys want me to just throw this in a league? Oh yeah, what Brian was saying earlier, like, I think that price point would make more sense if we wanted to actually put it in a league. I think I'm already in a competitive, right? I'm in a friendly. We could do a competitive Modern League. Just troll people with this nonsense. You know what? In honor of the first time we're doing the speed brewing session, we're going to put this in a competitive league. So that guarantees it 5 games, guys. Because I don't concede. I'll play even if we have a losing record because we're here for the entertainment. We're not necessarily here to become pro players. Oh, it's still set to Marvelous Mardu. That's funny. That's something I brewed during lunch today at work. I brewed 2 decks today, which is bad. I really should be a little bit more focused, but today I just couldn't focus today at work, and I brewed 2 decks today. I brewed an Cheaty Face Emrakul deck. That's the Marvelous Mardu, and then I also brewed an Elf combo deck. I hope this works. Like, maybe it was a mistake to just go straight for a competitive league with the first draft of our jank. I mean, this hand looks like it works, right? Maybe, maybe not. So what's the problem with keeping a hand like this? It is reliant on us finding something off of this chromatic star, right? What if the opponent just, like, thought seizes the star? That would be bad. I don't think we keep this, do we? I mean, granted we have crack plans, but I know the old Prism Darksteel Citadel deck. You guys don't keep this, do you? Let me move this over. We don't keep this hand, right? Should probably keep a different hand. We're also not running that many lands, right? The build was 18, 18 lands. 19 lands. Okay, we ended up putting a 9. That's a good choice. I think 19 is good. You keep because we're on the draw. I'll keep it then. Alright. We're still going to lead Chromatic Star because we may need the fixing next turn. So I use Card Hoarder, but I have a sponsorship with them. I'm part of their loan program. There are ways, Wu-Bangs, to borrow cards through other sites. With Card Hoarder, you need a sponsorship. There are websites that you can do. Yeah, there are websites you can do that with. Thoughtseize? No. Okay, so it's burn. Alright, well, this is a matchup that we needed to test. So, I'm not mad about it. Definitely something we'll come up against plenty if we want to make this archetype a real thing. So there's Misty. Still think I'm supposed to go Citadel Star. We don't want to crack the earth till next turn, right? So why don't we go... Actually, if our plan is to crack the earth next turn, maybe we should lead on Terrarium. No, you're fine with Bangs. I mean, ideally we save the crack the earth for the hatching plans, though, right? But I kind of like the idea of making him sacrifice a permanent. And it's a more efficient way for us to draw off the Terrarium. So he's just like a black splash burn. Are we just dead to Eidolon? Oh yeah. If he had Eidolon, he would have just played it here. Rift Bolt. So he's only got 2 cards left. So what do you think he sacrifices if I play Crack the Earth now? Another star. Problem is this is a... Actually, you know what? So he sacks the land. That's not a good sign for us. Maybe our turn would have been better off casting the Prism for the colors. I mean, we're making our land drops, like coming back from a 1-lander to making our land drops. And sure, like we're on the draw against burn. It's not where you want to be. But beggars can't be choosers, right? I said I wanted to throw this in the competitive, so here we are. Light up the stage. Shouldn't you have cast that before combat? Oh, okay, so he is stuck on mana. So that's relevant. That's the best we could do. I mean, we need our card now, basically. Goblin Guide. Draw us a land. You're the Goblin Guide. Please. Please draw us a land, Goblin Guide. Explosives. That'll do. I'll take... Wow, this is a really clutch idea to add explosives to the deck, and it pops the Chromatic Star for me. That's kind of sweet. We don't have to pop it yet. I want to keep the mana on the Pentad Prism. I mean, why not get the extra card off the Goblin Guide, right? Alright, going one. Guess we never found the things. But you could have cycled through it. Yeah, that's truth. Guess we're just dead. Oh, I was supposed to tap the Mox Opal there. That was silly of me. My bad. Watch us die to a hasty creature now because I wasn't able to play the servo schematic. Dead to bolt. Okay. That's okay though. I would assume we lose game one to burn even against a moderate draw. Like we kind of really need these 6 cards. Magma Spray and Pyroclasm can come in. The Dispel and the Negate are good too. So what's bad? We don't want any of these. Search for Skanta, too slow. Could cut a Gargadon. I think the servo schematics aren't very good. That's kind of like our Lingering Souls effect. But I also just think they're not. I also think explosives. Explosives can be good, but sometimes it's just a little bit too expensive for what it does. And then let's cut a couple of hatchings. Because again, those are all really good when it's a grind, but burn is not a grind. We almost played a game of Magic though, despite having a 1-lander. Shoot, another 1-lander. Oh boy. All right, mulligan. The sand is sweet. Interaction. A way to gain life. So we could crack the star for life instead of mana. 3rd land. Maybe I don't want that. Think you want real lands instead of the Citadels? You're not wrong. I think since we have Misty, maybe I'm supposed to get the mountain here. Chromatic Star turns on the Mox Opal. So we can Magma Spray that Goblin Guide he's about to cast. Or Swift Spear or whatever. Draw us a land. Look at this Magma Spray coming up clutch, right? I know, we added it to the deck technically outside the 50-minute mark, but kaboom. Should we do this now before he can Skullcrack us? I don't think so. A little bit of skill crack over there. Wellspring. Maybe I'm supposed to play the land and fetch first before we draw. So we already have plenty of mana sources. Ooh, Scavenging Ooze. Ooh, it's the Ooze. Ooze, guys. This feels great. I almost wonder if we're supposed to have 2 of it, just because, especially against burn. Maybe a second copy of Claws of Gix would be a good idea. So depending on what Goblin Guide shows us. It's too bad that the spray exiled the Goblin Guide though in this case. We've got a Rampage of the Clans coming up. So I do want that. So we're not gonna fetch here because I do want the rampage. And you know what? Worst case scenario, the ooze bites or a burn spell, right? But that's a burn spell that didn't go face. Opponent is thinking about the rampage of the clans right now. Thinking about the implications. I love it. I kind of would rather get a shock land, but we do need to find fourth land. And plus, the fetch with the Goblin Guide is gravy, right? If we see something we don't want to draw, we can fetch. So I don't see any real reason to let go of that yet. This matchup feels so different when we're on the play, doesn't it? Always does. Bump in the night. Okay. Bump in the night. Okay. So let's see what the Goblin Guide shows us. Nature's Claim, that's excellent. So what we can do is we could actually trade the ooze with the Goblin Guide, even though it makes me sad. I think I'm supposed to because I'm at. Well, so the Nature's Claim, we have Claws of Gix too. Maybe I'm not supposed to throw away the ooze. So if we don't, we're at 5, opponent has 2 cards left in his hand. End step, we fetch, and we sacrifice the Wellspring to go back up to 6. No, we want the Nature's Claim. We want the Nature's Claim. I'm just trying to logistically figure out if I think I'm supposed to just take out the Goblin Guide because we know we're not rampaging for a while. As sad as it makes me, I think we give up the Scavenging Ooze here. Shard Volley my face. Okay. Oh, I'm glad I blocked. Yeah, so we claim here. I know it turns off, or it doesn't turn off the Mox Opal. We need fourth land. We need either another Mox Opal or we need a. Oh, spoke too soon. So next turn that lets me rampage, but in the meantime we need to live. We need 3 artifacts. So awkwardly, I think I just pass, and maybe I don't even fetch. Well, no, we do have to fetch. I mean, we could crack the Chromatic Star and see if we hit something else. Opponent's only got 1 card left. I just don't want to turn off the I mean, like, we need to turn the corner here with the Rampage. We need 1 more mana source. I think we just pass, guys. I think we pass, fetch up a shock land. Hope he doesn't kill us here. Oh, is this hand really double 1 mana burn? That would be really unfortunate. I mean, maybe we don't have the luxury, though, guys, of not gaining some life off of the claws here. Yeah, we're way too low. I think we don't have the luxury. That's really unfortunate. What am I playing around if I gain the life here? I'm not playing around Bolt even if I gain another life right now. Oh, he just has it all. That's fine. I still think that was an interesting game. Yeah, so this could have been relevant too. He only had 3 permanents at the end of that last game. That's okay. It's funny, I was all excited about the magma spray coming up, but it would have been better as a bolt because we had the ooze. It was sad that we had to trade the ooze with the... that's okay. Black burn. So how's the burn matchup? Seems bad. And maybe we were, like, one of the builds we had, guys, had the Nature's Claims main board. Maybe that was what we were supposed to do. Maybe instead of... I mean, I like the main board explosives, but the Nature's Claims would also... main board would also solve the issue of... Maybe the Search Riskant is more of a sideboard card when we're trying to grind. I don't know. Accepting a bad burn matchup is... I think there are things that we could do to make it less bad. Just because we finished building it doesn't mean we... Since it's in a league, I don't mind changing it in between. Like, I think just... I like the initial 75. I think maybe this is in the realm of when we're getting grindier. And then again, if the Search Riskant is going to be in the sideboard anyway, I think it might be better as the... no, what is the name of that card? It's eluding me. I mean, maybe we just don't need it at all. And then we get to main board a Nature's Claim or two. That card just seems really, really good in what we're doing. Because we want to blow up our own stuff. Maybe we even do this. And then one more Nature's Claim. Just seems like it's kind of made for what we're doing, doesn't it? Maybe this is more correct. Or like another Dispel. I don't know. Dispel or Negate. Oh, my bad. Those all would have been good. I mean, one of the reasons to be in blue is not just the hatching plans. Like, I do want to enjoy the fact that we're blue besides having a third color for explosives. So maybe like another negate even. But these certainly could have been main board, the Nature's Claims. And again, not everybody's playing burn. Maybe it should still be 2 explosives, 1/1 split a Nature's Claim. Just go ahead and cut the Search Riskant. We got plenty of draw anyway. I think that was sweet. I think I didn't manage the resources well. I think little things here and there, but I like where the deck is. Oops, sorry about that, guys. We could still prize this league. It's a very, very slim chance, but like, think about it this way, guys. We just built this, right? We took 50 minutes and some change. We built a deck from scratch just between finding a cool card from the newest set, putting it in the realm of modern, putting it in the realm of an eternal format, right? Modern, legacy, or vintage. You guys helped me build it. I for what this is, I think this is good. Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, I think we did excellent. Sure, we haven't done the Rampage thing yet. So what? Maybe it needs more, hey, we win now cards. Like, I don't even know if I'd mainboard the Karns, because they take a little bit of time to get going, don't they? Like, we could just be playing the, I mean, maybe it just needs more meat to it, Besides the Gargadons and the Rampages. Like, maybe that's where it's supposed to be, is, I mean, Antiquities War, we don't have to protect, is the benefit of this card. So maybe it should look something like this. like Karn a little bit better post board. Yeah, just having like another win condition or two would probably be a good idea. Alright, hand should function. We'll see. We'll see about that. Looks like the Phoenix deck or Storm, both of which are scary, considering that we're rug colored in a format that nobody plays rug. We got some cool stuff going on in this deck, though. I'm sure at least one time during this league, we're going to see an army of centaurs. Or maybe we get lucky and we get to go up against somebody that really cares about the centaur effect. Like we go up against, like, you know, some poor Boggles player or Skills. Hardened Skills deck. That'd be pretty hilarious. I mean, that's definitely a cool reason to be playing this jank, right? Because you'll have some oops I gotcha matchups. Just kind of neat. We could also consider playing Stirrings. Thing in the Ice is very bad news for us, unfortunately. But not much I can do about it. Maybe he flips it quickly and then we make Centaurs. Their deck is designed to flip the Thing in the Ice very quickly. And like, honestly, from looking at our board state, would you imagine, like, would you think to not quickly flip your Thing in the Ice if this is what you saw? Something to think about. Okay, there's the Rampage. So he did flip the Thing in the Ice for us. Useful. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exactly, he shouldn't be expecting it. So let's see how good this actually is. Draw 4, make 4 3/3s. Right now we're doing it now because he has permission, so we're going to get some triggers. We're going to draw some cards. We're going to make some centaurs. Oh yeah, it's not going to blow up the Darksteel. Actually, that's good synergy. That's good synergy, because we actually wouldn't want to lose out on... we wouldn't want to lose. Now, according to the new rules, it used to be that if you explosives for 0, it would blow up things like Awoken Horror and Delver. Yeah, it's only 3 3/3s. Yeah, it's not going to blow up the Darksteel. But maybe that's a good thing. Oh, geez, another Thing in the Ice, so out rip. Ooh, or we just get to pop this explosives for XS2 and win the game. That's insane that we just get to 3-for-1 this guy. Let's not make a mistake. Don't bolt me out of the game. 3 for 1. Yes. Yeah, we get to blow up 3 cards with the engineered explosives. Guys, we did it! We broke Modern! We figured out the next Krark Clan Ironworks deck that's not Krark Clan Irons. It's Clans. Krark Clans Ironworks, guys. Rampage of the Clans. Tell your friends it's a thing. Maybe it's a thing. Guys! We're on a rampage! Yeah, Rampage eggs. This is sweet. This is actually pretty cool. I mean, let's be honest. When we built this deck, I thought it was jank, but now, like, the 3 for 1, come on. And we're playing Hatching Plans, like 2 mana for 3 cards. I mean, come on. 2 mana for 3 cards, guys. And we get a 3/3. We've done it. You know I'm kidding, right, guys? But still, this is sweet. We're no longer just home with a Robopod. Now we're home with a Rampage deck. We'll have to make like some reference to the 90s game. That was sweet. That was really sweet. Like, to think that we might beat a deck that's got 4 main board, holy crap, that's so good against us, duck cards. No, stop it. Stop doing things. Just let us kill you. Just let us kill you. We did it! We won a game! We did it! We did it, chat! Chat, we did it! We did it, chat. Alright, what the heck did we do? What do we play to beat this thing? Oozes, probably. That was great. I would be very salty over there if I just lost to a Hatching Plans deck. Oh, this is great. We're living the dream, guys. This is the dream. It's the dream. But yeah, we are a tokens deck, so the thing in the ice, this is probably, like, theoretically a very bad matchup, actually, when I think about it. Magma Spray for the Phoenixes. He'll be on Phoenix. No doubt he's on Phoenix. So we do want the Magma Spray. Magma Spray also hits a couple other threats that they might be on. How else do we sideboard, guys? We definitely want the explosives, because if you can't flip the thing in the ice, we have a brief moment to blow them up. And just think we could blow up a Hatching Plans at the same time we're blowing up his thing in the ice. Granted, we might also blow up our oozes, though, but we want the Dispel and the Negate. Do we? I think the Servo Schematic actually is weak in this matchup. Beast Within kills it too. It's true. I don't think we want Karn. I think we want Huntmaster, but maybe that's wrong too. Maybe we don't want either. Maybe this is a job for... it's hard to say. Yeah, I think the Nature's Claim should be main board because they're more enablers for the, we've been cutting the Surge every time. I mean, it is going to be hard for us to break through their permission to cast the Rampage now that they know about it, so maybe we should run the Dispel and the Negate for those reasons. And then maybe we cut a couple of plans. I mean, this might be a matchup where we don't run the Claws either. I think Claws comes out if we're not running the full suite of hatching plans, right? I think that looks correct. I don't know, this is a hard deck to sideboard. There's so many moving parts. This really is like not something you could just think up, and I definitely needed your help on this, guys. Keep it. Definitely needed your help on brewing this mad science experiment together. So we're gonna go basic Mountain into Gargadon. I mean, and before he Blood Moons us, but what are we gonna do? You know, not much I can do about that. Like, I think we do want the Gargadon going. We have a Pentad Prism. It's not the end of the world. Should he? I mean, we have Beast with him. We could Beast the Blood Moon if that's what's going on here. Yeah, this deck's sweet. I hope you guys are enjoying this nonsense. This is wonderful. That's the fun thing, though, about the challenge is, like, the deck doesn't need to be good. Something else to think about, chat. Definitely fits my streaming personality. What happened to the... What did I do to it? Where did it go? There it is. I just want to have it on the screen. But I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. This guy cannot hit Phoenixes to save his life. So I think we deploy the Pentad Prism. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Ooh, you know what we could do? We could crack the Earth here. Tempting. Nah. That's probably foolish, actually. This deck is sweet. I mean, like, if that's what it takes for us to always have sweet decks, I'm down. He hit land. Of course he hit land. So maybe it's play Ooze, take the flashback. Faithless Looting. He still got his bolts in. Oh, I was supposed to crack that to the Gargadon. My bad, guys. We could have taken a time counter off the Gargadon. That was a misplay on my part. I'm going a little bit quick because I got some other things after the stream to think about to do tonight. My day was not finished when I started streaming, but I started streaming much earlier tonight than as per usual lately since my new job. But I was just so excited about this idea that I wanted to jam on it. So yeah, theoretically the Gargadon should be at 6 here, which is not 0 significance. Okay, so we can... I think we cycle this actually. Don't we? You know, maybe I should have also cracked that to the Gargadon instead of getting the mana. I think the mana was irrelevant there. So, like, lots of little things. I think when we have a Gargadon suspended, I should definitely be thinking about using that instead in a lot of situations. We'll get used to it, though. I haven't played a ton of Gargadon decks in my day, so I'll be thinking about this guy. Maybe if I just, like, make it a lot bigger, I'll be thinking about it. Yeah, no, I didn't think about it till after I'd done it, Kami. He's not easy to forget now. He's the biggest card on the table. So he's big, he's large, and in charge. And unless they have a remand, hard for them to deal with. We also might just crack this Mox Opal to the Gargadon since I don't have any double Phoenix. Ouch. Okay. It's a thing. We did take game 1 though, miraculously, so we do have another game to play. There is another game of Magic to behold. Beholden. I still think I'm cracking these. Crack the Earth isn't very good at the moment. Doesn't do all that much. Yeah, we're in trouble. Well, yeah. I mean, maybe 19 lands was too many. I think the original build... Well, no, we added a 19th land when we cut the 4th Mox Opal, didn't we? It's okay. Remember how we were saying that this also seems like a really bad matchup for us because we're making tokens? Which, again, means this is probably a bad time to be brewing something like this. But I think we picked a cool Brew-Around. I think the other Brew-Around card we were thinking about doing was a cool idea, too. The, like, ramp or fast mana into the... We both dump our hands card. I think that would make for some really interesting modern because we'd both be top decking and then both of us have an army of zombie tokens that we need to maneuver. His hand was like perfect. I don't even mind. Like our hand was a little clunky. Opponent's hand was I shouldn't say perfect, right? But it was good. It was good. Now maybe the Nature's Claims should be in, right? Has he still got his bolts in? Let's run it like this. No changes. Kami says crack seems a bit much. Oh, in this matchup? That's fair. Like Phoenixes don't care about it. So maybe something like this. We just submit that and maybe we'll move some things around further. We also did see Pyromancer's Ascension, so... Although he may have taken those out. I think I like this hand. Some eggs and a Gargadon. Seems good. And we'll be smarter about the Gargadon this time, guys. For sure. Do I want to take 1,000,000 damage on getting the Gargadon in? No. I think I might even just go Misty. Pass. Grab. Shockland. Probably Stomping Ground. I like Crack the Earth, though. I think it's a cool card. But, yeah, I mean, there's some board states where it can be very weak. Absolutely. Depends on the board state, depends on how early we cast it. Absolutely. Right, there's some board states where it's on the weak side. There are some board states where it's pretty bonkers. It just depends. Same could be said for even something like Smallpox, Kamikaze. It's very much, you need to set up the board state a certain way. So I'm not trying to advocate that it's almost went through that. I'm not trying to advocate that it's the correct card. I'm just trying to say I think it's interesting. I think it's an interesting card. Ranger Force. Let's go suspend this. Put the Terrarian in play. Right. It might not be enough. It certainly is interesting. Also puts back a Gargadon. Something else to think about. So he is kind of in that weird spot where maybe he shouldn't flip the thing in the ice, you know, due to the looming Gargadon, but maybe he will. So you got 6 permanents. I'm like starting to count what we're gonna do with the. Oh, he's just trying to flip it now. Gargadon does unfortunately not trade favorably with Thing in the Ice. I wish it had a little bit more toughness. If only Gargadon was a 9/8, right? It's a 9/7. Theme the ice, of course, when flipped is a 7/8, so they would trade. So that's scary. So it looks like we may be trying to draw to an out to the thing or something to block it. Yeah, that's exciting. So for those of you that don't know, Brian Ruther used to be a huge, he still is, supporter of my content, and he was proposing, well, now that that's flipped though, now we could draw to our win con. I just don't know, like, what we're supposed to be cracking, right? That's kind of the issue. Like, how much cracking of the eggs, so to speak, should I be doing? I mean, I guess we have to be. Oh God, double Phoenix, not bad opponent. Oh, that's game. It is a good deck. I mean, there are reasons why people are playing it. It is a thing to be playing. So what would be the draw that gets us out of this? Like, I have to remove the Phoenixes too. I think we would need like some combination of anger and also remove the yeah. Unfortunately, guys, I don't think our deck possesses a draw that's going to beat flip horror double Phoenix draw. So this is where we would need something more like explosives. Like even this explosives. I mean, it's a start. I shouldn't complain. Like, it is a start. Blows up the awoken horror, but I still have to answer the Phoenixes. So there's Rampage. Doesn't do enough. That's okay. He had a good draw there. I don't see a line. I don't think there's a card. So maybe more stuff like... I mean, the fact that we took a game off of a deck that should auto beat us... And again, like, why brew a deck against... Because there is a lot of people playing the Blue-Red Phoenix Phoenix deck right now. It's popular. For good reason. It's solid. So moving forward... Yeah. So, Thing in the Ice, something that we're very weak against, apparently. I mean, we have cards for that matchup, though. Like, I mean, we shouldn't chalk it up to unwinnable. I would say not favored. It's a difference between not favored and unwinnable. This is definitely a cool concept, but I mean, you know, for a brew, it's definitely rough around the edges. Thing in the Ice didn't even blow you out, though. Oh yeah, we just died to the Phoenixes, and I wasn't able to handle them. Like, we never had the ooze when we needed the ooze to snag the Alright, let's see if we can get a nice linear draw. Like, this hand seems where it's at. I think we fought valiantly, Kami. I'm not mad at all. And remember, just for the lulz, I kind of decided to burn the 12 tickets just in This was in celebration. This was certainly in celebration of kicking off the beginning of what might be okay, this matchup again. That's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. We get to see if we can actually win. Mox Opal, good to see you. Okay, so Mox. Okay, so this is where we do the Nutter Butters, right? This is where I hatching crack. Yeah, this is gonna be sweet. This is a powerful interaction. This is why we play something like Crack the Earth. For board states like this. Does he keep the Goblin Guide? Does he keep the land? I guess it depends on his hand. This is gonna hurt though. Or no, it's not. We can get a red source. We can just get Mountain. So blue, crack, sacrifice. Like this is turn 2. I mean, there is something powerful here. I think a more expensive and proper version of this deck would be playing the playset of Mox Opal. For game like board states like this where we get to crack, you know, at best hatching or maybe a Wellspring. So he keeps the Goblin Guide. Interesting. Second Opal is not necessarily a bad thing. We'll kick it back to the opponent. I mean, as early as next turn, I could just Rampage, a small Rampage, just to block and kill the Goblin Guide unexpectedly. could kill the Swift Spear too, potentially. Alright, draw us a land. Draw us a land because you're the Goblin Guide. Draw us a land. Yeah, that didn't work. Yeah, I think Rampage for double Centaur is fantastic here. We'll kick it back. And we draw a card. And we replace the Opal. Like this is it's on the smaller side. I just like how this card's gonna scale though into the late game against certain decks. I think there is something powerful here. I really do. I think it needs a lot more polish, but I think we are onto something, chat. Opponent's just going for it. All right. I do think we're onto something. Seriously. Yeah, it's potentially early or late game kind of a card. Like late game, you can make a ton of them, but early game 2/3/3s or more certainly fine. And it doesn't blow up our own lands. It'll blow up, you know, some of our other mana sources, but do we take the risk to block the Swift Spear? Nice. Rewarded. We finally drew some servo schematics. I've been wanting to use them. Well, we need to make land drop though, so let's go Wellspring instead. There's the land drop we were hoping for. Pre-combat Lightning Bolt gave you so much info. Yeah, it was like kind of a weird play from the opponent, admittedly. I think I Wellspring again. Well, no, maybe there you're supposed to schematic. I like that the Rampage actually upgrades the servo too. That's very relevant. Like you get another servo and it upgrades the servo. Which is kind of neat. He's at 18, so swing, swing, swing. Or do we want to keep one back and then next turn Rampage and then it's lethal? We're going to be making how many more next turn? During his end step though, like they won't be able to take on the turn after. I think holding back one Centaur is correct, isn't it? It's not going to be swing, swing, swing. Like these other Centaurs are going to get in the mix before that's relevant, so I think making it so we don't take any damage off of a top deck Goblin Guide or Swift Spear is correct. Honestly, I would have liked schematic. Yeah, if I played schematic, then I would have been comfortable. Ooh, Blaze, that hurts. All right, but now it's not a bit. Ooh, Crack the Earth is huge here. That's beautiful. I think this card's underrated in the build, Kami. I'm not trying to say eat your words. Like, yes, it is very board state specific, but this is that board state that we want. Opponent's not been making land drops. Like, that's pretty excellent. What do you think about it? Another Rampage would give us 9 power. Swing him to... It still wouldn't change the clock. Let's go hatching schematic. Swing with the Centaur. If we have to, we can block with the servo. Next turn I might Rampage during my own turn, just so we get the draw 3. Draw 4, actually. I think we got something here, guys. I think it's very unrefined and it wasn't ready to go into a league. But I think we have something here, chat. And this Crack the Earth puts him on no lands. Oh my goodness. Alright, so let's crack the servo schematic. Because then we get to upgrade the other servo with the Rampage. That's brutal. The old smallpox him out of the game. Come on, that's wonderful, right? I mean, maybe Burn's not as bad of a matchup as we keep thinking. Like, especially with the new build where we're considering main decking some of the Nature's Claims, one or more copies. You know what? Actually, let's go back to that. I think Antiquities War is fine. Let's leave it sideboard. Let's go. There's a lot of people playing aggressive decks right now. I mean, like maybe the Magma Spray should be main. Like maybe that's how. No, it shouldn't be main. Yeah, let's just do that. Another enabler. This is beautiful. Swing for 4. Well, we'll swing for 4, then we can rampage during our turn to make the land drop. Yeah, the old modern opponent has no permanence. I mean, he does have a suspended Rift Bolt, but this card's sweet. I think we got something cool going on. And I think it's very relevant that it's 4 mana. When we were initially brewing the deck, if you guys were here, we were considering some of the other destroy all artifacts and enchantments cards that exist, but they're not proactive enough for modern. I think we're onto something. I think maybe we found another deck to screw around with, guys. All right, hit you for 4, put you to 7. Rampage to crack the Wellspring and the Hatching Plans. We'll lose the Mox Opal in the process, but whatever. We get to upgrade it, guys. Gets to become a 3/3. I don't think this is how Wizards intended this card to be used, though. To be perfectly honest, right? I mean, come on. Right? I mean, they were thinking sideboard card. They were thinking, right, that kind of nature, right? I mean, it's like a super mega beast within, pretty much. Luke says, honestly, I think it's a truly fair use of Rampage. Yeah. You do think it was intended to be a possibility? A burn opponent is sitting there trying to look up their deck, I imagine. We're pretty bad against Rest in Peace, though. Something to think about. Well, that was sweet. Huntmasters, Claims, Oozes, Counter Magic, Spray, Pyroclasm. That's what we did last time. Game's too quick for that sort of nonsense. Schematic also feels weak. Gargadon, too slow as well. It's just a sacrifice engine. Which, I mean, we want them. I think engineered explosives can stay. Actually, explosives is kind of weak as well. Maybe these should still be servo schematics. Well, no. Explosives can 2 for 1 in this matchup pretty regularly. Let's leave it. I would laugh if opponent was looking up. I mean, why else was he sitting there, you know? Unless he's like going to the bathroom. There's a real possibility our opponent was just spending his precious life seconds on looking up our deck. Oh, no, you missed it. It was the first thing we did, Dry. I also like doing it at the very beginning of the stream because it gives you guys an incentive to get here when I go live. So I think there's lots of little tiny benefits besides... Like, the stream queue died because of my new job. Let's be honest. I don't think it died for any other reason. Also, the only reason I kept this hand was the Huntmaster and 3 artifacts for Mox Opal. But I'm sorry that died. That spreadsheet is still full of great ideas. Ooh, this is going to hurt. I wish I'd played my Mox in. That was foolish of me. There was no reason not to play the Mox Opal. That was bad. That was really bad. I think we just lose. Taking that extra damage on the Mox Opal is going to really hurt us. That's too bad. Oh, that's a Nature's Claim. So we can claim the Eidolon. Maybe we should do it now, just so he can't Skullcrack. I think I'm fine doing it now. Sure, he gets to take damage off of it, but... Oh, well, no, that's him that gains... It's him that gains the life. Sorry, I'm derping. We could have waited, obviously. It's him gaining the life, not us. I don't know why I'm sitting here thinking we're going to gain that life. Lol. So we could have gotten some free damages on him. So those are two big mistakes. We should have played our Mox Opal because of... Oh, light up. Light up burn. That's fun. Alright, well, we just play Huntmaster. He's tapped out, so... Tap out burn. But yes, I should have waited. We could have... He could be at 21 right now. But hey, Huntmaster. That's sweet, though. Yeah, light at the stage seems sweet. Another day in paradise. Shard volley my Huntmaster. Shard volley my face. Okay. Isn't there the real possibility that I just don't cast anything and we flip the Huntmaster? Eat the Swift Spear? If you waited, he might have been able to spectacle that, though. Oh, truth. Okay, he's just gonna blow up my Huntmaster now. It's a good play. No blocks. Okay, so let us do things. Found our mana, you guys. Keeping the wolf back stops like Goblin Guide. Did we win game one? We did. Yeah, we did all sorts of nutter butter stuff to the opponent. So he's burned just trying out the spectacle cards, which I think is perfectly reasonable. I like Skewer the Critics way better than Shard Volley in a lot of cases. Wow, he's flooding. That is huge for us. That's a big deal that he's flooding. Let's go red-green because if it's blue, it'd be reactive. And we draw Rampage. So if you Rampage now, like I don't really want to take the damage off of fetching. Like it sucks that our hand is all fetches. I think we just do it now. Oops. To draw the card off the Wellspring. Not a big deal that we lose the Moxen. Not really, anyway. Swing with the wolf. If he's flooding over there, that's great news for us. Like, burn when it floods is... Oh, he's got a black splash. He's got bumps. This isn't the safest block with our centaurs, to be honest. Ooh, Blaze. Brutal. Card's good. Good thing we won game one. I'm assuming the rest of his hand is land. Right? Save the Crack the Earth for hatching plans. Five. Game would be over. I'm also tempted just to pyro away the Swift Spear. He might also just be He may also just be really patient over there. A lot of his play patterns, though, indicated that he doesn't have anything but land over there. Or maybe like a sideboard card? I don't know. Could be a sideboard card. But I'm guessing it's just a bunch of lands. We don't have a lot going on for us either, though. And no, it wouldn't be 5/5/5 because I kill my wolf there. I killed the Swift Spear. And this is a spot where Crack the Earth is very bad, and it's just an enabler for one of my draw spells at this point. Which is fine that it still has a function in the late game. He's got the white splash too. I'm assuming we're dead unless you draw some of our counter magic. I think more counter magic would be a good idea. So we have a little bit more life to work with now. We need to be careful how and when we use this. Just due to skill crack. He's letting us gain the life, so let's go ahead and do 2 of them. Yeah, Claw is sweet in the matchup. Grim Lava Man. That's not so bad. Could be worse. Oh, we're going to start playing these fetch lands. I wish I'd been playing them the whole time, because I forgot about Claws of Gix. We could have been cracking these. We could have been turning these fetches into life gain this whole time. So we can Nature's Claim our Darksteel. Yeah, sacking fetches to gain life is something we should definitely do. And then once we see that the coast is clear for no no skull crack. So we had a nice healthy 9. Sacrifice the token. I like this deck a lot. This is very much a BrewSpy deck. We need to be careful that I don't fall in love with the deck. I don't think I cracked the Citadel because that's a nice interaction. We have more nature claims in the deck, don't we? Actually, was that both? I think that was both. I think the original build only had 2. So we could crack this Darksteel, but then a Mox Opal draw is dead. I don't think we do that. Alright, Terrarian, that's a good draw for the Claw. Draw for the Claw. Our best draws are blue and red at the moment, so let's do that. I think. So let's just keep cracking these. You don't want to sack too many lands? Yeah, I'm not gonna crack any more actual lands. I think I'm gonna keep getting rid of these. It's not like we're a Faithless Looting deck or anything. Like these I like that we're actually getting something useful out of these dead draws. Which is nice. Leave open blue just to make it seem like I might have something. Like, we gained a lot of life off this Claw when you think about it, chat. If we were to do the math on how much life we've gained off of the Claw, it's significant. But now we're going to start sacrificing these eggs instead of the fetches. Actually, during his upkeep, we'll crack the Wellspring. Wow, we're just seeing a lot of land. Maybe I'm running too many lands in this build. By the way, maybe 19 is too many, but we do need four mana. I know. I need to find a win condition. Yesterday. There's a Scavenging Ooze. That would win the game. Oh, I'm sure our life changed significantly over the course of this game. It does. I don't want to go through it. Well, what is it? We're taking 2 each turn from the Lava Man plus whatever he draws. It might be greedy for me to grab additional green sources, but it might be correct for me to grab 1 more green source and leave the Terrarian for cracking next turn for... It's 2 of different colors, right? Oh, any combination. It's like a Metamorphose on a stick. So let's claw 1 of the fetches away. And we might die if I go for the extra green on the ooze, right? Well, maybe not. I think extra blue and green is correct. So let's turn some of our non-green mana into green mana with the Terrarian and do like a really big Scavenging Ooze play. Pentad Prism. Okay, so I could fix this even into more green. So we have very much... We're very green right now, chat. Very, very green. We are quite green. Actually, there's not nearly as many creatures in the graveyards as I would hope. Yeah, so he's going to exile the Swift Spear in response, which is the correct play. Too bad for us. The Lava Man might get there if we just can't do what we need to do. You're right. Are absolutely right. We may be outgunned. What? Pay 1. Sacrifice. Okay, that was weird. Moto was like, I don't know what to do. Oh, Huntmaster. Okay. There's a shot. It's not a 0% chance. I mean, he has to respect the ooze. He is going to spend a Lavamancer turn killing the ooze. I think I need my mana for Skoos. Why? There's no creatures. There are no creatures in any of the graveyards, Kami. I think ooze was not a godsend in this situation. And ooze is much better in your Juns, etc., just because they're exchanging creatures. They have creatures of their own that are dying. You're killing the opponent's creatures. We're not killing the opponent's creatures enough, I think, in the build. Oh no, there is a Huntmaster in the graveyard. I missed it. Like an idiot. I should have blown up my graveyard. I didn't even notice it. I forgot that we played one way earlier in the game. Yeah, that's my bad, chat. Yeah, we deserve to lose if I'm going to play that loose. Yeah, that's bad. I should have swung first. I don't know why I'm just main phasing the Huntmaster. Hey, what's up, Jade? What a bizarre game this has been. I'm sure the opponent's sitting there like, I drew so many lands as burn player, but we've gained so much life when you think about it too. Oh, Jade, so we did a 50-minute brew. We did a speed brew challenge thing. That's like a new thing for the show. Was there ever a moment for me to use these Well, no, we were keeping these in case we drew a hatching plans, right? Did I take them out though? I did, like an idiot. I'm sitting here thinking these are going to be relevant. They're not. That's okay. They're not going to be relevant every game. In fact, if we take out most or all of the hatching plans, we should maybe cut down on the Crack the Earths. It was just tempting to keep them in because game one against our burn opponent, we did some cool things. No, yeah. Real life more important than being here. Obviously, Jade. That is definitely still my attitude. Third Crack the Earth. I love it. I'm not even mad. So he can do the block burn trick with his Lava Man, by the way. But obviously I'll just sacrifice the members. Claws of Gix is that kind of card that it's like deceptively powerful. We have so many permanents that, yeah, we should be able to survive most any draw. Yeah, so he's going to do the block and burn. No, you block the... There you go. Block there. Yep, block, and then burn the wolf is what I would do. We, of course, will sacrifice the wolf. Then we get to eat it on the scavenging ooze and kind of run away with the ooze. Alright, so we claws the wolf because it would die anyway. We do want the Huntmaster to trade with the Goblin Guide, I think. Yeah, we want the guide to die, so we're not going to gain life on that play. And they're all separate instances of gain life as well, which is nice. I also should have been eating some of his graveyard. I think we had a couple moments where I had some free green mana. I could have been eating my opponent's graveyard. A little more aggressively, I think. I don't think I'm supposed to use the charge counter on the Pentad Prism unless I have to. Yeah, how much life did we gain this game? That's something to think about. Somebody said they wanted to look at my life log. Can I just like highlight this whole thing? I don't think I can do that. Maybe I can. Here, if we make it wide enough. It's certainly more than I can just think out loud. Oh, that's weird. Like, went to the top of the... All right. Gain one life, gain one life, gain one life, gain one life. Okay. I'm looking for keyword Claw of Gix. I know, Magic the spreadsheeting, but you guys said you wanted me to do... Here, I'll do this over here, so it's not in your way. And we'll queue up for another round while I look at that. Oh, well, too late. Sorry, I forgot you can't just grab that outside. Hey, what's up, Kami? It's not nonsense. This was a speed brew challenge. We brewed a deck in the same amount of time as a game of Magic the Gathering online, right? Granted, I used a little bit more time than that, technically, but... And then this is where maybe the next build is going. It's not jank, it's good. Look at us. We just won a match. Last scene playing Colorless Eldrazi. Well, this will be a romp. Ha! A romp. I'm just kidding, guys. pool, go. The old triple rampage hand. I probably shouldn't keep this, actually. In retrospect, I think this was a mulligan. Alright, the Eidolon used 6 damage, 4 life gain card. That's so nuts for them. Yeah, their Eidolon was insane. It was. Alright, so he is playing the Eldrazi deck. Let's see if we can beat it. Terrarian. So far, no ramping from us. And we're just making 2 Centaur. So we need a little bit more to happen for us. Crack is very good here. Crack is insane in these Tron-ish matchups, actually. He has to sack the Matter Reshaper here. Oh, he hit a Mutavault? That's lucky. Alright. Still. What if you told me I could trade red for... 6 damage, 1 mana, and a card. Yeah. Colorless Eldrazi's. Schematic. Land drop. And we want to do it during combat. Right? Yeah. And who knows, we might draw another artifact to make another double Mutavault draw. This is pretty good from the opponent. I think we accept this block, right? Well, that's a Centaur waiting to happen. Let's be greedy. Take the full hit. Eidolon is strong. Another Mimic. Gosh, if he gets to grow those Mimics, which I think is obviously what he's setting up to do over there, it'll be pretty brutal. Pentad, sweet. That's actually very good for us. We get another free Centaur. Kick it back. Is the opponent expecting Rampage of the Clans? The surprise factor is very strong in this card too until word gets out that we're brewing with this card. Thought Not Seer. Well, word gets out. Take your pick. It also pumps up the Mimic. So unfortunately, that's what I was really hoping he wouldn't have, is exactly something like Thought Not, because he gets to see what's going on. Obviously, I don't want to Rampage in response and let him pick what I'm drawing into. So will he even swing anymore? Unfortunately. We also didn't hit very many draw rocks, right? Well, we saw the Ichor Wellspring. We would have taken a lot more damage this game from the Reshaper. I think I was okay with that exchange. It sucks that he hit something he could put in play immediately, so it didn't set him back. In fact, it technically ramped him, but I still think we make that play. I don't know. We would have taken a lot more damage off of the Reshaper. Four 3/3s and a 1/1. Yeah, we would have good blocks. I mean, given you know, he might have like a removal spell over there, obviously. We're still gonna end step it. Like, I need to crack what we have efficiently. We're gonna use both of the charge counters on the Pentad instead of taking damage off the Misty, obviously, since we don't get to keep the Pentad. Okay. Firing up the Mutavault. Here we go. Technically, I could fetch before this result. I don't really need to take the point of damage, though. Like, we max out at 4 land. Like, the deck maxes out at 4 mana, so I'm not feeling obligated to... So we get another dude, which is nice. I think the servo schematic is sweet. That was a good call. Pentad. So what do we really want to kill? We really want to kill the mimics. If he has dismember, he has dismember. We're taking out some of this though. I'm assuming he has dismember. He's acting as if he had dismember. Yeah. We're still killing the Mutavault in one of the mimics. So I think I'm okay with it. Gargadon a little bit late to the party. Wait, can I actually cast him if we just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? No. Alright, suspend. I know, that's funny to think about. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we're toast. I can make another Centaur, but... No, I would assume Colorless Eldrazi could be hard for us if we have kind of a wonky draw, which I did. My hand was triple Rampage, but not enough artifacts. And I was looking at my opening hand, and I was thinking maybe that's a mistake. Yeah. It's okay. Maybe we'll beat him post-board. Eldrazi's. What is good here, if I have anything at all? I don't really have anything for the matchup. I mean, mimics can get killed by these kinds of things, but that's not really what I want to do. This is a creature grind. We could consider the oozes. Search Riskanth has been bad overall. We've been cutting it every time. Explosives, not really. Too small. Beast Within, probably. Maybe this should even be a 2-of. And maybe the oozes? Or do we want Karn? Do we want Huntmaster? The fact that ooze could take over a game, I think, is actually where we need to head. And I think we cut the Claw and run a Karn, a Huntmaster, or something of the sort. Aether, I mean, this is going to be a grind. Maybe Aether Grid is correct, and we can ping off at least Mutavaults, and we can ping off the mimics over a long game. I don't mind the idea of Aether Grid. He also won't interact with it, probably. Aether Grid, of course, turns into a Centaur, so something else to think about. Same can be said for the Searcher Riskanth, so that might not be correct for this deck. The Aether Grid or the Search, obviously. Well, we've cut the Search from the newer build already. Antiquities War also becomes a Centaur when we don't want it to, so maybe this is also still wrong. I don't think we've figured out what the other sideboard card's supposed to be yet. Could just be another Nature's Claim. I mean, Karn can make really big dudes. Maybe this is correct for this matchup. We cut like a Hatching, or... Schematic seems a little weak in the matchup, to be perfectly frank. We know this is going to be a grind, so maybe we cut a Moxen even. Is that crazy? That's got to be wrong. We want to come out of the gate swinging. Probably cut something from here. Pentad. Maybe unnecessary. I don't know. I don't really like cutting a lot of mana. I mean, like, a lot of our deck is mana, just by the way. 19, like 20, 26 mana source. Maybe we should just cut a Prism. Like, I'm happy having all that burst mana game 1, but game 2 and 3, if we know we're in a grindy kind of a matchup, I'm less inclined. Ugh. I don't think we keep this, do we? Well, this would be a really greedy keep. It might We might pull that off if we rip land. It is quite a bit greedy. Get a serum powder. Oh yeah, I would mulligan that hand in a heartbeat if that was mine. So mulligan once more down to 6. Yeah, so star, go. If we draw fetch or, you know, just red source, we go for the crack the earth. Oh, if we can get the temple, that'd be sick. Nope. We had a moment, guys. We could have almost lived the dream. Now he gets to play. Oh, he didn't have Thought Knot. Oof. Okay. Actually, we don't have that many 1-drops. Oh, well, we just drew one. So that's unfortunate. Is there a reason for us to have more in the graveyard? No. See, I almost think instead of Gargadon, maybe we should have been on Salvage Titans. That's something else that I'm thinking about, chat. I mean, maybe we should do a split until we're positive that it's supposed to be Gargadon. This might actually be a Salvage Titan deck. Chalice on 1, Chalice on 2. Alright. Well, now we're drawing lands. Modern as intended, right? Let's not crack this because we need to maximize our draw potential. I should have cracked the Terrarian, actually. If you're going to keep the crack the earth, then the Gargadon slot could change. Powder. And he'll take the only spell in my hand that I can cast. Actually, he might just take the Rampage, I'm not sure. Taking Beast is probably correct even still. Because I could take the I could take out the Chalice that's on 2. I don't think I want to take 1,000,000. Well, this is a fun match, isn't it? It was an interesting match, though. It's just sad that Chalice is a thing. What about Bolt or Faithless? You're welcome to take the deck, Luke, and take it in a different direction, my friend. I don't know if I'm gonna do anything more with this deck than just the challenge. To be perfectly frank with you, it was a cool concept. I got very excited about Rampage, but just seeing how it performed or didn't perform, my mind is thinking. And granted, it was a weird sampling, right? We played the Is It Phoenix deck. We played Burn twice, and then we played well, I can Rampage my way out of the Chalices, but then we will be facing an army of Centaur. I don't want him to turn the Nexus into a Centaur. But he does. This is where we would need explosives. I don't think I kept it in. That's us using Rampage a little bit more as intended, right? Next turn, the best thing I can do, unfortunately, is just make some dudes, right? I think it's correct to Pentad just because we have the potential to draw. It'd have to be that I draw another Rampage. So I think Servo, we're still dead. right? Even if I crack the earth here. That would still result in us having 2 servos. And we can play the chromatic. No, we just, it's fine. It was an interesting matchup for sure. And you guys got to see a lot of cool Magic. I don't feel like it was a waste of $12. Like, I wanted to kind of kick off the beginning of this segment of streaming, because this might, honestly, this might be the future of the channel. I think this went over really well. I think you guys had a good time. I know I had a good time. So if I'm enjoying it, and you guys, the consensus was that it was enjoyable, to the point where Brian even wanted to pick the next card, build-around card. So pick a card, and I'll see if I can brew an eternal deck around it in 50 minutes or less. Let's play one more round though, just because it's not quite 9 o'clock. Yeah, and the goal wasn't winning, exactly. I think we brewed something sweet. We did beat an opponent, and we beat something that actually, in theory, we thought would be a bad matchup, right? We beat Burn, which in theory would be a bad matchup, right? And it wasn't. Okay, we get to test the Search for Riscata before we cut it from the deck. I mean, if this thing flips before we cast the other guy, then that works, right? So that's something to consider. I don't want this to get .c, so I will just play it. A lot of people will probably think we're the that one deck, the War of Invention Artifact Prison deck with like an opener like this, maybe. I don't know. The Hatching Plans build seems much better, but it is a Hatching Plans build. It's right here. Another way we could go is we could go full more into enchantments and do like an Opalescence build. Like, what is that? Each enchantment you control equal to converted mana cost. What's the name of that card? What about Demonic Pact? Oh, don't get me started on Demonic Pact. You know I like that card. Don't tempt me. So Crack the Earth is insane here, by the way. Like, this is the kind of draw that we live for. Right here. And this is really insane. How many decks do you brew but never actually play? Half my decks, I get a random idea, start brewing, never get it. Yeah. No, we play them. I have a few decks in the queue, actually, I haven't had the chance to play. Not to build credence into what you just said, but if we want to play around Spell Snare, I could just fire this out there. I'm letting the opponent know we're just playing for testing. Because if he's just starting his league or whatever, who am I to graveyard that? Who am I to take it away from him? I feel like the loss is where we didn't have our combo of artifacts and Rampage. I meant when you're just alone. I share most decks that unless it's like something that I have to keep a secret as far as like brews are concerned. Some sort of Kiki. Looks like some sort of Kiki if he's playing Wall of Omens. Wall of Omens very good against Crack the Earth. We're almost to flip Search Riscata status, actually. That's pretty quick. Yeah, we could try to mitigate that Kamikaze if we really are committed to, yes, we'll graveyard that. There's a Rampage. Rampage now before he gets to untap. We don't get to flip our Search for Riscata, though. But we we may lose it to a sweeper, but it's only 3 dudes. Now it's 4. So you like making the tokens now? So you think it's make the tokens now? But then I have nothing else going on against a deck that's filled with spot removal and this and that. I think I want to flip the search. What would search find though? Crack and Rampage? Crack, Rampage, Hatching Plans. It made sense in the initial build. We cut it from the latest. Like Vendilion Click, electrolyze me. It's fine. The slowest of burn decks over here. Johnny, okay. So what's nice is we get to just go for it now, and we flip the search for Iskanta. Yes. So we get one last token, but I think we want the Iskanta. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we don't get to play the the Wellspring first. I think we definitely go for it here. Because if we wait on this, we might still get to cast the Wellspring this turn. It's very possible that we're going to hit a land off the Hatching Plans. Oh yeah, Iskanta the Sunken Ruin, it's non-creature, non-land. So we can hit enchantments with it. I mean, don't get me wrong, opponent has Planeswalker and very likely could have Sweeper. Very possible. Might as well put that out there, so if he is sweeping, at least we get to gain a life. I think that we're supposed to do that before he untaps. Potentially could have Counterspell. It looks like his build is a little bit less Counterspell-centric, but the Cascade Bluffs suggests Kiki-Jiki. Maybe it's just there for Cryptic and Anger. Still going after my island. He's trying to stop the Iskanta, but we have a lot of other gas going on in the hand, so... No Sweeper. So we can still activate our Iskanta if that's what we want to do. We'll respect you, Johnny. Yeah, I'm tempted to just activate Iskanta. We also could just play Hatching Plans and crack it with the Claws. Is another good play to make. Surprise, surprise, it was a resto. I could have told you that. Be very surprised if he doesn't have removal spell here. So we just do some math here. So crack this for blue source, or no, we already have blue source. So blue source, crack it to the Claws of Gix, and okay, so let's Claws the token. I may not Claws much else. I assume this is a bolt or what have you. Actually, no, I still think I'm fine with that. There's a lot of pressure on us now to... Because we're going to be taking... Well, no, we don't have to shock. We also don't have to crack the Hatching Plans immediately. That's kind of a misnomer. We don't have to take shock damage here. Or fetch even up the basic mountain. I think we just play Hatching Plans, say go. Yeah, I know life gain doesn't matter as much in this matchup, but I think I like how I played that okay. Scott the tapped. Okay. Worst case would be Teferi. Oh, well, that's worst case. I actually don't have an answer to that main board anyway. Opponent may not speak English. I did ask him what his record was. I mean, we're just playing for testing and fun. I did tell him that in the chat. I would assume this is a tough matchup for us, but these sorts of things, like we want to get grindy. We want the beast within. We don't want any of that kind of stuff. But what do we want to cut? Cut the claw. This will turn into a grind. That's the spot where I'm less excited about some of these elements. I don't want explosives. We want to be drawing cards. We want to be doing the things. I can't cut all that mana though, can I? Watch me. It's Jeskai. Why not? It looked like it might be Kiki from the Cascade. The Cascade Bluffs was a tell. We did mention that, or I did mention that earlier in the game. Not to say I told you so, chat, but just, you know. This is really fun for me. I mean, this almost feels like some of the other streamers where, I mean, granted, I paid for today's event, but like where a lot of the other streamers, the way that they've structured it, because it is an expensive hobby, is they're more about just kind of, we may just get, well, anyway, Gargadon. This hand's actually pretty nutter butters, because next turn I get to play Citadel Schematic, blow up their first land, get ahead that way, and it's a Colonnade too. So we can have like games like this where we just kind of come out of the woodworks and do some really powerful stuff like what you see we're about to do. So yes, this gives us, and this is a really good enabler for Mox Opal. You know what's nuts is we drew the one of Mox Opal, by the way. I think I cut the rest, didn't I? Greedily? Yeah. Very greedy. Honestly, Gargadon could be fine in this math. Well, if he still has path or not. So we'll crack the servo schematic. Build your own lingering souls, right? This looks great. This is wonderful. Wonderful turn 2. And that's the thing about Modern is if you can get off on the right foot, you can really draw another mana source, please. That would be the perfect. Can't complain though. These are some of our heavier hitters. See, this is where I do wish I had the extra Mox in, or like he missed on land. Perfect. Oh, this is dirty. We don't rampage. We just Karn. In fact, you know what's gross here, chat? What's gross here is technically I could just minus the Karn, but I'm gonna plus. He has to choose between Crack the Earth and Terrarion. That's an obvious Terrarion. I may minus Karn to get the Crack the Earth, and Crack the Earth is Colonnade. I told him, here, I'll show you what the chat looks like. Not like I'm trying to hide it or anything. We pulled it off the screen earlier because I was trying to see how many times we gain life off the Claw of Gix. So I said, what's your record, by the way? I'm just playing for fun and testing. Then I said, I can't prize. I'm 1-3, just letting you know. So it's kind of up to them. Because if we're in the position of winning, I'll probably do the nice guy thing and scoop. In fairness, I don't know my opponent's record unless Moto picked it up. Take a look. I don't see it. Oh no, he's 0-4. He did worse than us actually. So, all right, submit. That was sweet. I think we also got very lucky though, considering that we drew our mana. This is a cool concept. Like I said, I don't think it's perfect. Yeah, I certainly don't think it's perfect. There we go. This is a potential keep. But yeah, I think for an initial brew, I mean, we did this in give or take 50 minutes. I think that was pretty solid. I think the Crack the Earth has been either really strong or really weak repeatedly in this league. So I think I'm okay with the swingy card that's also an enabler. Right? Yeah. Is it possible that we could have the Dispel back up this Crack the Earth? I don't think so. That's how I think about Crack. It's only good in some narrow windows early on. Well, the thing is, the reason it's not nearly as strong as something like Smallpox, for obvious reasons, is it does give the opponent a little bit too much control over choice, right? Just as we get choice to what we sacrifice, so do they. But hey, this time we get to, oh, even better. I mean, ideally we use the Dispel to protect the Rampage of the Huntmaster, actually. Like, an end-step Rampage backed up with a Dispel is strong, to the point where maybe we shouldn't have a negate in the sideboard, we should just have double Dispel and be the aggressor. Why not crack there? We could have cracked there and sacrificed the Terrarium. Could be Cryptic. Yeah, I mean, it might be correct to just crack. Land drop. So we still have the ability to end step Rampage if we don't play the Terrarium. Now that we have drawn a second one, I think I'm fine jamming it into this Cryptic, which I think is what he has. But then on the next turn I can resolve Huntmaster with Dispel behind it. Really shouldn't be getting this many basics against a Field of Ruin deck. Mana Leak. Okay. Now we could also just back it up with... I don't like rampaging though during my opponent's main step. I mean, again, since we drew land, it might be tempting to rampage with... I might be tempted to rampage with Dispel back up now. It's awesome that we can go off instant speed like that. I think that's another subtle but very powerful thing about what's going on in our jank. I certainly think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 3/3s. We should get a shock land here. Actually, I didn't even need to do it this way, did I? I could have waited to see what he does. Should have waited to see what he does. That's a mistake. I mean, we need to float the Mox Opal mana, but Snap Leak. Okay, so we can dispel the leak. He might have a dispel if he floats. If he uses the Cascade Bluffseer and floats. Okay, so he's got nothing. Dispel. Now, we don't want to overcommit to the board, potentially. But then again, we are drawing a bunch. We're going to draw quite a few cards, actually. I think there's a cool concept here. I think there is a more streamlined deck. I mean, like, I couldn't have come up with, for example, like Eggs or Karklan Ironworks. I think there is a deck here. We just don't know what it is yet. And maybe it's like second... What's the one that's still legal? It's either Second Sunrise or this or that. Like, maybe there was another deck here that we didn't even realize, chat. And it was Rampage or Second Sun, and then, like, traditional... oh, we can just resolve that. That's sweet. Do you know what I'm getting at, chat? I don't think we Hunt Mast. I think we Karn. Exactly, like a traditional Eggs and then Rampages and all, and that's sad because I liked where we were going with this and it felt like its own thing and original in some ways. But if the better deck, if what the better deck is somebody in the chat here takes it to the next level, please let people know where you found it originally. We took the time today to build it together. I don't really care if you say, hey, it's Sean's deck. Like, just let people know that it was, hey, this was from the BrewSpytheMagicGuy channel. You ever heard about that particular channel? There's a bunch of people, there's a cool community here, and they brew weird decks. So we took 2 games. Granted, one of them was against somebody that had a bad league as well. But, yeah, I think there is a strong combo in it of this card somewhere, hidden beneath. Yeah, I gotta go. I gotta make a phone call. But this was a fun stream. I hate to leave when there's a bunch of you guys here, but I did say, well, let me see if that person's ready for me. Maybe I'm not leaving. Maybe what we'll do is we'll see if somebody wants to fight over the rights to choose what the next deck is. Brian said he was going to pay for it, even. Good idea. Happy to see it again sometime. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. I didn't even realize there was a bunch of you guys. You're not. That's going to change my decision about whether or not I make that phone call. I'm trying to see what they're ready, if they're ready or not. All right, I am going to make that phone call, but here's what we're going to do. I'm going to leave the deck up. And if somebody wants to, I don't think I'm going to do another one today unless the league were paid for or this or that, or even just the concept. Like I haven't fleshed out this idea to the point where, you know, it needs to necessarily be a certain way. I want it to be 50 or less minutes of brew time. I'd like to get that time down to even maybe something more like 45 minutes or a half hour. But 50 for now because that's the same length of time as we get in a game of Magic Online. Let me show the actual, the newer build. Looks a little bit more like this. And it might be a better Salvage Titan deck than Gargadon deck. Gargadon, of course, able to sacrifice also creatures and lands, whereas Salvage Titan can't do that. Salvage Titan also needs to have 3. But this guy is very grindy, and you can use him over and over again, so it might be a better Salvage Titan deck, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. Just happy to have you back. Yeah, for sure. It's been good being back, Nick. Here's what I'll do. I'll leave it open to someone to... I mean, if anything, Locorin had a tier 3 sub. I think there's no reason that you shouldn't get to pick a card and we just do it. How about that? Since you're in the chat, Nick, take your time. Pick a card, preferably from one of the most recent sets, and we'll set the clock for another 50 minutes. We'll do another brew session. I can't promise that we'll do another league, just because let me check how much we've got in the form of product. I've got some chests, I think. I had a few chests. Yeah, we got some chests, and I think I had some play points. And I have a play point. Okay. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. I'll screenshot this version. I think this is a lot better than the previous version, even just with some of the small changes we made. This is a cool concept, and there's not many rug decks being played at all. I'm going to go make that phone call, but I'm not shutting off the stream just yet. Sit tight. Little brief intermish. Oops, wrong button. This deck also needs another sideboard card still. So I don't know about the Gear Parade the Grid after all, just because it gets sucked up into the Rampage. Something to think about. Alright guys, I'll see you half hour or less. It shouldn't be that long even, maybe 15 minutes. Shouldn't be a long phone call, but I do need to make it. I'll be back. Is that something you might be might find doing? Excuse me. Wow, my dyslexia is showing. All right. Would you be interested, Nick, in picking a card, preferably from one of the recent Ravnica sets, if possible? If not, I understand. If you have a Brew Build-Around card, go ahead and whisper it to me. When I get back to the computer, hopefully we can figure something out. And if you want to see it in a league, maybe you help in that regard, or points or tickets or whatever. Or not points, but tickets. We'll figure it out. Does that sound like something you'd be interested in, Lolcorum? Because you did just give us a very, very generous Tier 3 sub the other day. And that might have even been something prompting it. But I'll be back. You guys debate amongst yourselves. I do have a cool idea for you, though. If you really can't think of a card, not that I should always get to pick what we choose. It'd be better if the viewer picked it. But there was another card we almost picked over Brewing-Around Rampage. It was the black token generator. Like a Gravecrawler kind of deck. This guy. Awaken. Some sort of Awaken, like, Gravecrawler, Lingering Souls kind of thing. And maybe like red, because red is the only ritual mana in Modern. So maybe like a red-black zombies thing. But no, you should pick it, man. That was just a suggestion. I'd rather you guys pick it collectively or you by yourself. Anyway, I'll be back. Give me 10 to 15 minutes, guys. If you don't see me in 15 minutes, don't call 911 or an ambulance. I'm fine. I'm just on the phone. I'll be back though. See you in a bit.